Hello, my name is Mike Carley, and I am on the product marketing and strategy team for Adobe Experience Manager Assets, our digital asset management and rich media delivery solution that we have here at Adobe. And today I am very happy to walk you all through how we can use our newly developed ROI calculator for digital asset management to effectively quantify the efficiencies that Adobe Sensei can bring to any organization. Now, again, just for a quick reminder, Adobe Sensei is, of course, our proprietary set of artificial intelligence and machine learning algorithms that can help us automate tedium throughout every step of the asset lifecycle, increasing content velocity, experience relevancy, and ultimately bottom line conversion and consumer engagement. So this is the very first screen you will see when you log into the ROI calculator portion of this web tool. And as you can see, we have 16 different drivers, different areas of value pertaining directly to digital asset management. Now, these are all very great topics to dive into. And if you scroll over the different value drivers, you can see the different definitions and how they apply and how these efficiencies apply to different steps of the marketing lifecycle. But today we want to take a Adobe Sensei lens to this ROI calculator and really try to quantify the benefits of how Adobe Sensei can automate tedium and generate quantifiable value at your organization. So if we think of the areas when it comes to digital asset management and experience delivery where artificial intelligence and Adobe Sensei can really make a difference, the four that I would tend to choose would be the ability to reduce search time, the ability to increase asset reuse. A corollary to that would be the ability to reduce asset recreation, unnecessary asset recreation. And last but not least, the ability to streamline the creative workflow, to generate some creative workflow efficiencies between our creative and marketing teams. So let's go ahead and move on to the actual calculator and see how we would quantify those value drivers through the lens of artificial intelligence and Adobe Sensei. So to start, let's go ahead and just enter some very quick cost value. And I know that's not the most important part of the video, so we can go ahead and speed this part up. So as you can see with the cost inputs we've entered, we are reflecting an almost $1.3 million in investment in digital asset management and dynamic media, rich media delivery over the course of a typical 3-year contract. So certainly not an insignificant amount. However, once we start to quantify the efficiencies that Adobe Sensei can bring to a marketing organization, we're going to see that investment returned 3 to 4 times over. So as you can see, part of the cost inputs were some basic resourcing inputs like number of DAM users, number of portal users, what we pay them per hour on average. And so those will be the inputs that we use to start to calculate some of the quantifiable value that Adobe Sensei can bring. Instead of asking a human librarian to ingest 10,000 images and add 15 to 30 pieces of metadata for each image, we can outsource that tedium. We can automate that tedium with Adobe Sensei. Let's say before DAM, it would take a half an hour, 30 minutes to find a single asset. Let's say we reduce that search time for every asset from 30 minutes to 6 minutes, zero point 0.1 hours. And I would say the average DAM user, the average creative and marketing user over the course of a month probably does 200 searches per month. And over the course of a month, I would say the average portal user, the search and download only user, probably does, I'd say, 10 searches per month. Just by reducing search time, just by automating metadata tagging, by eliminating dark assets, by ensuring that people can find the assets they need with the metadata terms they expect, we're able to generate over 200 or exactly $216,000 in efficiencies monthly, almost $2.3 million in efficiencies annually, and almost $7.2 million in efficiencies over the 3-year length of the contract. So just by reducing that search time, even with a $1.3 million investment, we're able to generate almost $6 million in total ROI over the 3-year length of the contract. And while we won't take the time to go through the rest of these value drivers, you can see why being able to find assets better would reduce unnecessary asset recreation, because you can find and reuse all of the assets in your portfolio and maximizes the chances you can find content to use again versus creating something net new that you didn't have to. Very related to that is the increased reuse of existing assets. Every time you can reuse an already created asset, that increases the ROI of that asset and increases the ROI of those past creative efforts. And by automating creative workflows, by automating review and approval and injecting other efficiencies into that life cycle, you can get assets from creation through the ingestion, review, and approval process as quickly as possible and maximize the speed with which they get to market. So just by reducing search time, we're generating almost a $6 million ROI using the efficiencies provided by Adobe Sensei. And if we were to add and quantify these additional value drivers, you would see that ROI number climb even higher. So hopefully this was a helpful tutorial, and we look forward to hearing stories about the quantifiable efficiencies that you were able to gain and gauge effectively with this new ROI calculator from the Adobe Experience Manager Assets product marketing team. Thank you for your time.